All right, good afternoon, everybody. So the new artwork has started arriving for our new project, so I thought I'd do some rigging this afternoon. Yeah, so the new character is named David, and he's behind a desk, so we got to do the scary desk rigging. I haven't rigged the desk for about 2 months, so hopefully I remember how to do it. So yeah, I guess the first thing we'll do is rename our face behavior to torso, rename our jagger to right hand. I'm going to add a jagger and rename it our left hand. And I just put the R in there so that they're side by side, right hand, left hand. It's just easier when I'm animating. And then on torso, I'm going to go in and put head position strength to 0 and head scale strength to 0 so it doesn't float around or get bigger and smaller. Then I'm going to add auto blink, and I'm going to add lim IK to the parent layer. Auto blink I'm going to leave at the default settings. Alright, so let's get rigging. So frontal, what's up? Okay. Frontal I want tagged as front and also as a head. Head I want tagged as a head, and I want to add face behavior to that and attach it where I want it to pivot. Left arm I'm going to attach, and I'm going to try a new way of rigging. Normally I do the arm as one piece, but I saw a new way of doing it where you can actually make it 2 pieces. So I'm going to put I believe the elbow on there and put in my sticks. But instead of finishing the arm, I'm going to go into my forearm group, and that's where I'm going to tag my wrist, which I'm going to make jaggable. And I'll put the pivot point in the right spot for that. So I can't remember which level the elbow is tagged on, but I think that's done correctly. Let's do the right arm. So shoulder and elbow. Right forearm, I'm going to put the pivot point where I want it to be and put the wrist on there and make that draggable. And this one we might want, we're probably going to want to adjust the pivot points and everything, so I'm just putting them in fairly quickly. And then because we have lim IK, I'm going to do the legs. And these I'm also just going to do on the leg. If I was doing body tracker behavior or the new motion library, I'd want those on the body level, not on the leg level. And he's not going to be walking, so I'm not going to bother putting in a knee bend. So left leg, same drill. Okay, now time to rig the desk. Let's see if I can get this correct. So on the parent layer, I want the origin point very low. On the named level, I want the fixed line what's happening here? Go. I double clicked it. On the name level, we want the fixed line make that fixed. and we want the origin point above the fixed line. I'm just going to move that down a little bit. We want the origin point above the fixed line. Then the desks we've made independent, and I want those to attach below the fixed line. Okay, and body, I'm going to put to pivot where I want that to pivot. Okay, so I think that's the desks rigged up, as long as I did everything correctly. Okay, so let's make our browse swap set. And then in surprised, we've got our cycle layers, which is done correctly. So we'll add cycle layers. We're going to advance every 2 frames. Let's go into this head behavior, and we're going to put head position strength to 0, head scale strength to 0, and I'll leave the pivot or the tilt at what it is, but I am going to add parallax to 200. Then let's parallax his ears. So we'll go left ear, right ear. We'll add face behavior and tag it as a head. Let's zoom in so we can see a little bit more what we're doing. And they're both behind the head. So in the face behavior, I'll make that minus 150 head position strength. And head tilt and head scale at 0. And then not a bad idea just to make sure that they're still connected to the head. Yes, they are. What else is there to do in there? We might need masks later, depending if the eyes slide over the hair and everything, but I'm hoping that we can get away without them. Face base, we can make his face mobile. So I'm going to put in my fixed line and my jaw. All right. So I think we're ready to start doing our swap sets. So left arm will go left forearms. Or actually, let's select default in there. We'll make our surprise browse 1 and latch. And then default left forearms, I'm going to make 1P and latch. We'll do our hand swap set, so let's rename that left hands. So we're just selecting point from all of them and dropping them in the point swap set, and this way no matter which forearm is selected, we'll have the right hand showing. Oops. Still feeling a little bit, oh look what I did. Open self, open self, open self, open self. Feeling a little bit rusty rigging and talking at the same time again when it's for work. It's a lot easier when I'm just casually experimenting for myself. I don't know why that is. Okay, left hands are done. Let's do our right forearm swap set. Oh. Oh, that's right. He doesn't have he doesn't have extra forearms. He just has hands in that one. That's why. Pen hand. Okay, so let's call this right hands. I might want to add different forearms in for him just for extra movement when we're animating, but we'll see how we go just with this. Okay, I think he's all rigged up. Let's pull him in and see what I've forgotten to do. Nothing. He works as expected. So his draggers are going to be a bit weird on his default hand because remember we put the draggable wrist over here. So we're not going to get much movement on that first hand. Let's zoom in and see how our parallax looks. Oh, did I? Parallax strength is set to 200. Yeah, he's got it. His eyes are not zooming over. Oh, but I'm going to have to adjust his jaw a little bit. So let's go into lip sync, jaw movement, and let's just turn that down quite a bit. Let's see, what else have I forgotten to do anything? He's pretty wiggly. Let's go into torso and turn head strength down to like 29 or 30. Yeah, that's better. So he is basically ready to go. The new way of doing the arms looks a lot better. Let's actually put on triggers on our timeline. So we'll just turn everything off, turn on triggers. Let's zoom our timeline a little bit so we can see. And then I'm gonna go A. Let's see, did I not? So Control Shift, whoops, select the visine that you want to break up, and Control Shift D to break them up into these small ones. Oops. Turn off triggers so we can see what we're doing, and turn on his arms. Yeah, so you can see I don't have my pivot point exactly right. We just thought it looked a lot better. Let's go in and fix that up. We thought it looked a lot better. There was less deforming in the pivot of the sleeve, if that makes sense. So let's just make sure that that's right in the center. Still not pivoting at quite the right spot. You could, this is where you can spend hours playing with these little dots. But he works and moves as expected. Yeah, I might switch that back actually. I'm not super happy with, let's go into, and let's hide these so we can see a little bit more what we're doing. And let's put 4 back on. Come on, why aren't these all showing now? There, that looks quite a bit better. So that is that hand. Let's do his right hand so we can see how he's going to look writing. So I've got pen hand, and let's assign that to Z. So now if we turn triggers back on, it'll look like that. Nice, and I was worried that the pen would deform, but no, he's going to be able to do his writing nicely. So that is a quick rig up of David. Let's double check that we've got his eyebrows good. One thing I regret is when you put something into a swap set, it loses parallax. So say for example, David has a nice smile that we can trigger. As long as I leave it in a mouth set, it retains the parallax. As soon as I make the mouth set into a swap set, so I have happy mouth and sad mouth, say, you lose the parallax. It doesn't recognize it as a mouth anymore. And then the same with the eyebrows. Now, so his default eyebrows have parallax, but the rest won't. But anyway, I think he looks good. He was a nice fast rig up. I think the new project's going to go nice and smooth. Yeah, and the desk worked as desired. So just to go over it in case you're trying to get a desk to not move, I'm still not 100% certain what's important and what's not important. But the way I always do it, the parent layer, so the very top layer, that's where you want your origin point, and you want it low, below where you're going to put your fixed line. On the named layer, I put my fixed line where I, excuse me, don't want it to move. And I have the I have the origin point above the fixed line. Then on the desk layer, you need to make the desk independent and attach it below the fixed line. And I don't think this time I put it on hinge, did I? No, it's still on weld. So that wasn't important. And as far as I know, the body layer isn't important. So I have that, I believe, below the fixed line. Which is on the name level. Yeah. So anyway, it does work nicely, and I know it was hard for us. We were trying to figure out how are we going to get the arms in front of the desk and his torso behind the desk and have the desk not move, but that works nicely. Oh, jet plane for computer fan. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great afternoon. Yeah, cheers. Bye.